Y'all ready for our next guest? You can put your headset on. Hey, now I got a special guest. This young man, I remember him my first 4 years in the league. He was running around doing his thing. He was Willie Beeman before Willie Beeman out of Cal State Fullerton. Damon Allen, what's up? Damon, I see here you're third all-time in professional football in passing. 23 years of football, but the most combined passing and rushing yards at 84,301. And you know what? Your 11,920 rushing yards are only 323 behind your brother. Do you feel like you could have been a Hall of Famer in the NFL at running back?
I don't know if I would have been a Hall of Famer in NFL running back due to the fact because the physicality of the game and my size. And you first of all, you have to understand when I first came in the league in 1985, I was only about 160 pounds playing. And so throughout those 23 years, I fluctuated to probably the maximum weight I played was about 185 pounds. And that was one of the reasons why I came to the Canadian Football League, because the situation, me coming out of university, even though I did very well in the combine and showed all those athletic skills that you can play the position, the fact that they were concerned was my could I handle the physicality of the National Football League? And so that was probably my biggest issue that kept me out of playing the National Football League was my size.
Man, that's crazy. I've always thought you were such a gifted athlete. You're a quarterback that can sling it, but also run around, and you're a great competitor. We talk about the greatest competitors of the game, and I remember meeting Doug Flutie one time, and he came in the Calgary locker room right before a game, and he was all dirty, and I was like, what have you been doing? He was like, just finished a softball game. I'm like, Doug, nobody slides in softball. And then me and you played in the Henry Barris All-Star game one year, and
That's
I seen
right.
you diving around and sliding around, and can you speak on just your competitive edge that it took for you to do the things you did on the field?
Well, I think that's all part of your passion and your desire to want to be as good as you possibly can. The one thing I did know early on that I could play the position quarterback was due to the fact that my first year in 10th grade, I never played. I stopped playing football. And it was a coach that encouraged me to come back to the game. And through that is just the hard work and the dedication it takes and the toughness. And that's when you judge a quarterback, to me, it's always his ability to make decisions, his accuracy, and then his toughness. Toughness can very well be the number one out of the three characteristics. Because if you don't have toughness, then it will affect your accuracy and decision making. And if you don't like to get hit, and it's part of the game, and then those things can occur. So, for me, toughness was the number one aspect of playing the position, even though you had the skill. And so, you learned that from your big brother growing up, playing in the street. All the things that you had to do to show that you belong here, despite your size. Was very crucial in playing the game and being the best that you possibly can be. It takes courage to play football.
Yeah, and you haven't really been in football. I wouldn't say in football, but I always see you around. At the Grey Cup every year, after games, and you're still so pivotal,
Pivotal.
pivotal with everything in Toronto. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do to stay around the game and why being there and helping those young guys out is so important to you?
Well, I stay around the game because I'm passionate, even though I don't play physically anymore. I'm still passionate. I still watch every football game because now when you're in the game, there's so much that you've learned while you're playing the game. But then there's a different level of learning once you're outside the game. So now you can see the game in a much bigger picture, become more detailed. And that's one of the reasons why. And then it's all preparing for your opportunity one day to get an opportunity to coach. And, I think that's the aspect and why I stay around the game and still continue to dissect, evaluate, all those things that you can do because you don't play anymore. So I'm around the game in that aspect and has continued to be over the last 10, 11 years. That's why when you decide to want to be a coach, it's always about timing and the right situation to be in. And so, I felt this year was the right situation to be in because, in a lot of ways, I've been working at football these last 10 years.
Nice.
Yeah, so let's go into that. You coaching. I've heard that you wanted to go straight to OC, and I've heard that you want to get into coaching and potentially the riders. What are your thoughts, and where would you like to coach? And what would you like to see move forward for yourself here in the coaching world?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, as far as deciding where I want to go and all those things is really not the issue. It's the issue is someone giving me an opportunity is the main issue. Giving me the opportunity, allow me to come in and interview. If you feel the fact that I don't have any coaching experience, I can look at it in different ways, and I can give you examples. Ronnie Lancaster, when he came from playing the game, he went right into coaching. So no one questioned his experience as a experienced coach because he was a quarterback. And I understand quarterbacks are taught the big picture. We've managed 11 guys on the football field. So when it comes to managing, coaching, and all those things, that's what I've been doing the 23 years I was playing, managing 11 guys on the football field. And so in a sense, that is part of the experience, and the fact that I play quarterback and it's a quarterback-driven league, I can really teach the position, I feel, properly and give them a great feel on how the game is played, what to look for, and a combination of a lot of things. I mean, there's great coaches out there. For me, it's just someone willing to give me just the interview.
I got a question for you. So who's your guy?
Yes.
So since you want to get into coaching, say you're a quarterback coach, say give me that quarterback and we can win some games with him. Who's like your guy that you say, I want that, give me that quarterback and I can win?
Well, I think there's a number of quarterbacks that are playing good football. And yeah, there are aspects, the fact that they have experience and they continue to grow in that experience. But there's quarterbacks across the league that I feel that you can coach and win with. It's just a matter of, like saying, if their situation could be a little bit different. I feel I can help at that position due to the fact because I can communicate. I understand the game. At the same time, I'm a worker. It's about work and dedication and commitment to that position. And so whatever position that I'm actually coaching in, I'm dedicated to it not only as a former player, but as a coach as well. Because at the end of the day, the competitiveness that comes out of me, because I want to win too.
Yeah, you still got it in you. Hey, one quick thing. Who is the best quarterback in the CFL? Sean Lemon wants to know.
Who's the best quarterback in the CFL?
Who's the best?
Is it based on a number of years' experience and what they've done, or
whatever you want to base it on?
Year?
Whatever you want to base it on. You can base it on this year or previous years. I know a lot of top guys missed time this year, but currently coming into next year, who would you say is the number one guy?
I would say going into 2020, you would still say the two names, Mike Riley and Bo Levi, are still the top dogs, but they are guys that are coming up. There's upcoming Fedaro in Saskatchewan has played very good and showed signs that he has upside and he can get better. There's the young quarterback in Montreal. I mean, it seems like to me that Vernon Adams, all he needed was opportunity to play and playing time. He has upside. And there's quarterbacks out there that that we look at, the Evans. So I think in a sense this league is still in a good situation, but it still comes down to it's the quarterback-driven league, and so whatever team has the quarterback that plays the best, and the best quarterback that played in the last 3 games this year was quarterback for Winnipeg.
Yeah. That's a great.
He played the best.
I appreciate you for reaching out. Oh, we lose Damon? Oh, my bad. Well, we appreciate Damon. We appreciate Damon for coming on. Thank you, as always. I don't know, a lot of people know, after the 2014 Grey Cup, Damon came back to the hotel and we was hanging out. I got to introduce my dad to him and everything, and we had some good times. And I seen him last week at the Grey Cup as well. So I always appreciate you coming out and supporting me and what I'm doing, and I always support you. And if you get that OC job, just think about me to be on your staff, man. I'm a competitor. I am a competitor. We have nothing but competitors here. Chris Getzlav is in the building now. The Riders Zone. In Calgary, we used to call him the Keon Killer. I'll respect Keon Raymond, but I'm telling you, when we used to line up and we used to go 90% man, and right. Keon had Getzlav, that was a 150-yard day. But we'll talk to Getzlav about that coming soon. Keon locked down a lot of people, but never Ryan Getzlav. I appreciate you once again, Damon, for coming on.
Thank you, man. Shout out to Hughes, man.
Yeah, appreciate that.
I love the way you play the game. You remind me a lot of the great Quick Parker. So kudos to you, bro. You can get after the quarterback, and you do it with skill, craft. You think about every aspect of what you're doing on the field, and you play the game the way it should be. And so, in that sense, you make a quarterback play. He has to be on his A game when he's dealing with you, because can't be back there holding the ball, bro.
Nah, man. Don't hold it. 2 seconds.
Well, we appreciate y'all we appreciate everybody staying around, checking us out. I see John Grace. What's up, Uncle G, is in the building as well. So, hey, thank you for checking us out this first hour. We got 1 hour left. I'm here with Kelly Rimple, Charleston Hughes. This is the Rod Pedersen Show on Facebook Live and live at rodpedersen.com. Come back for the second hour, because we got more.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.